Welcome back, horror movie lovers. Today, I talks about a found footage film about a family tragedy, titled Hell House Origins. The story takes place in a secluded manor in the 1980s. Originally, a family of 5 who loves peace and quiet lives here. However, one morning, while the second son, Patrick Carmichael, takes Margaret Carmichael to the city faux dance rehearsal, they have a serious car accident. Margaret Carmichael, who is in the passenger seat, dies instantly. Patrick Carmichael has one arm broken. The main cause of this accident is still attributed to the drunk driver from the opposite side. The car accident also seems to trigger a butterfly effect. After half a month, this family surprisingly perished mysteriously one night. The mother dies tragically in bed. Her neck and entire face are severely disfigured from being cut. The youngest, Catherine Carmichael, is also like this. Although there is blood on older brother Patrick Carmichael's bed, his body has disappeared, and Arthur Carmichael cannot even find any trace of death. He directly vanishes into thin air. However, due to the snow, a row of footprints leading away appears near the manor. Since there is no sign of anyone breaking into the manor, the police eventually identify Arthur Carmichael as the killer. 'Cause Patrick Carmichael has one arm broken at that time. Judging from the dozens of severe injuries on bodies, he cannot possibly exert such force. But everyone does not expect that this murder case is actually related to a ritual to resurrect people. Time quickly passes to one morning 30 years later. The Carmichael Manor, uninhabited for decades, receives a visit from a couple. They are Margot Bentley and Rebecca Vickers. Margot Bentley is a member of an online detective agency. This type of agency specializes in solving cases for people online. Margot Bentley differs from other detectives. She likes to go to the scene to film. She investigates these cold cases firsthand. But most importantly, the Carmichael Manor is quite close to the town where Margot Bentley grew up as a child. At that time, many children successively disappeared from the town. It is said that a person who ran a clown toy store at the market was responsible. Margot Bentley was also almost abducted at that time. Her investigation at the manor this time is also to see if this case is related to the clown case from back there. Soon, after the people from the estate management office finish leading them and introducing the general layout of the manor, Margot Bentley's younger brother, Chase Bentley, also arrives at the scene. Chase Bentley wonders that he is not a detective and cannot deduce anything. He cannot help much by being here. Margot Bentley tells her younger brother to handle the photography, explaining that he just needs to record everything with the camera. He also helps her with odd jobs. TTLE later. While Rebecca Vickers wanders around with the camera, she finds her boyfriend, Margot Bentley, standing motionless at the doorway of an upstairs room. Margot Bentley waves, signaling Rebecca Vickers to come over and film. It turns out that a storage room that was previously locked has opened its door when they were not paying attention. Rebecca Vickers sees 2 figures appear through the camera lens. Her heart immediately trembles. Only after she slowly approaches and zooms in on the screen does she realize they're just 2 clown mannequins, which look quite terrifying.
Well, I could see why they would keep it locked.
After Margot Bentley's deduction, the sky gradually darkens. Because they have been busy all day, they rest early tonight and plan to wake up early tomorrow morning. But in the middle of the night, Margot Bentley is woken up by a continuous sound. She turns her head and sees that Rebecca Vickers, who was sleeping next to her, is also gone. Only after she walks out of the room does she find Rebecca Vickers taking pictures across the way with her camera. She also hears the sound. It sounds like a girl is singing, and the singing comes from downstairs. Seeing this, the braver Margot Bentley runs downstairs with her camera. But the singing immediately disappears.
Get it on camera.
Although they do not capture anything last night, the next morning Rebecca Vickers smells a foul, rusty odor by the bed. As she continuously explains while holding the camera, she fails to notice a grievously injured girl lying on the bed. Slowly turning her head to look at the camera. When they come to this manor, they hear that there is an antique shop in the nearby town. The shop Hawaii old items, reportedly all moved from a hotel in town that caught fire. And before the hotel catches fire, A strange case of an employee and a tenant's ritualistic passing also occurs. According to the locals, it is a cult ritual. The hotel owner seems a bit abnormal. A grandfather clock displayed in the antique shop immediately catches Rebecca Vickers' attention. Because her profession involves house design and sales, she has some knowledge of this style of clock. On that seemingly ordinary side, there is actually a secret door. Rebecca Vickers casually pokes it, and it opens. She removes the partition and feels a cross pendant inside. Then she feels again and finds a videotape in an iron box and a stack of letters.
All staff must be present Thursday, September 15th. Hotel will be closed.
After discovering it is all information about the Abaddon Hotel, Chase Bentley, who is nearby, quickly puts down the camera. She quickly puts everything into his bag while the shop owner is not paying attention. She says these things are all relics. Whoever finds them first, they belong to them. Meanwhile, Chase Bentley, who is alone on the Manor side, hears a thumping sound. He thinks Margot Bentley and Rebecca Vickers have returned, so he runs out of the room. He discovers that a small red ball has appeared on the ground, which was empty just now. Next, from the storage room next to him, the sound of creaking floorboards is heard, indicating someone is walking. Chase Bentley gets a little angry at this. He thinks Margot Bentley and Rebecca Vickers are trying to scare him. But when he approaches that direction with emotion, he finds there is no movement and no one in the room. There are only the two original clowns. The head of the innermost one is different from before, angled more towards the door. But no one is in the utility room. So whose footsteps were those just now? Chase Bentley comes again to search all the rooms downstairs. He walks, holding his camera, when he hears laughter coming from behind him. Chase Bentley quickly turns the camera lens. He captures a hand resting on the doorframe at the corner. Chase Bentley repeatedly shouts to zoom in on the image. Immediately, the person retracts their hand and peeks out their head. The person just stands there staring without speaking. This death stare scares Chase Bentley, making him gasp for breath. After hearing Margot Bentley and the other person's return, the masked figure then disappears. Afterward, a shaken Chase Bentley shows his older sister and the others what he just filmed. Rebecca Vickers immediately frowns upon seeing it. She says people have died in this house and it might actually be haunted. Chase Bentley, who is filming nearby, does not speak, but starts to get excited. Then they start playing the videotape they stole from the antique shop. They are shocked that the footage on the tape is not from the Abaddon Hotel, but from Carmichael Manor where they currently reside. The footage was filmed by a girl in 1989. She walks while calling out Patrick Carmichael's name in the same hallway where Chase Bentley was earlier. Then, a masked figure also emerges from the end of the hallway. Catherine Carmichael calls Patrick Carmichael an asshole, saying he scares her to death. It turns out that Patrick Carmichael's younger sister, Catherine Carmichael, is the one filming the video. That day is the morning Margaret Carmichael goes to the city for play rehearsal. It is also the last photo she takes before she dies. After the car accident happens, Patrick Carmichael also seems like a changed man, not wanting to talk and feeling extremely guilty. Because the tape's content is quite long, they only watch a part of it first. Then Margot Bentley reads aloud from the letters they found. The content is, "Cold night falls. Something is coming. All things die, never to return."
This one. When they return, the most common side effect is bleeding from the face.
And this facial bleeding that Margot Bentley just reads about exactly matches Patrick Carmichael's mother and Catherine Carmichael's state at the time of death. Soon, time comes to the morning of the third day. At this time, Rebecca Vickers is video calling with her boss at the company, reporting the housing information she collects last month. After seeing it, the boss is quite satisfied and praises Rebecca Vickers' strong business capabilities. As the screen keeps switching, Rebecca Vickers discovers that the interior of Carmichael Manor appears on the screen. She clearly remembers that she does not take photos of this house. As Rebecca Vickers frowns deeply, a photo taken from the stairs sends shivers down her spine. What appears on the screen is her current state. Video calling with her boss. The boss on the other side is also a bit shocked after seeing it. Then in the next photo, a woman appears next to Rebecca Vickers, facing the window. After such a fright, Rebecca Vickers can no longer hold it together. Margot Bentley suggests leaving the manor and stopping the investigation. But facing Rebecca Vickers' panicked emotions, Margot Bentley is more concerned about seeing that Rebecca Vickers insists on leaving and cannot be persuaded. During the argument, they turn off the recorder and stop the video recording. Later, Margot Bentley says something to Rebecca Vickers, making her stay and spend another night. They set off to leave the manor early tomorrow morning. Just as everyone returns inside to analyze the case, a bell rings in the nearby kitchen. And each bedroom in the manor can ring a bell. It is likely installed to allow servants to deliver meals to each room. After discovering it is Patrick Carmichael's room ringing the bell, Margot Bentley and her younger brother, Chase Bentley, go upstairs first. Rebecca Vickers is a bit scared, so she stays downstairs. After going upstairs, the two of them discover the light in Patrick Carmichael's room is turned on. Chase Bentley is also a bit nervous for a moment. He slowly moves the camera deeper into the room. A clown, originally in the storage room, is moved here by someone unknown. At the same time, Rebecca Vickers downstairs also hears the commotion and shouts upstairs. But immediately, she hears a door open beside her, making a creaking sound. As Rebecca Vickers approaches, a red ball is also thrown out from inside the door. Her voice trembling, she walks inside and turns on the light. She asks what happened. One mentions the cloakroom and urges them to hurry and help her. As another clown has come to the downstairs cloakroom, the three of them cannot figure out what is happening, but they are certain that the house is truly not peaceful. And now, it is quite late. Margot Bentley suggests they leave as soon as it is light tomorrow. He also reassures Rebecca Vickers that nothing bad will happen. As they return to their rooms, Margot Bentley tells Chase Bentley to go to their room so the three of them squeeze in and sleep for one night. But Chase Bentley says he is fine and will drink some alcohol to fall asleep quickly. However, in the middle of the night, Margot Bentley gets up again, saying she hears some banging sounds outside the door. Rebecca Vickers tells her not to open the door and suggests they wait until dawn. But when dawn breaks and they open the door, they find Chase Bentley's backpack thrown at the stairwell. They do not know what happened to him. Margot Bentley rushes to the room, but Chase Bentley is already gone. Only his leftover drink remains on the table, and he forgets his phone, leaving it at the foot of the bed. From this, they deduce that something very urgent must have happened at that time. Afterward, Margot Bentley finally finds Chase Bentley's dropped camera, which shows he was drinking last night. Soon after, Chase Bentley hears someone knocking urgently on his door, but he opens the door and looks around. Seeing no one, thinking he is drunk, Chase Bentley lies down on the bed. The knocking sound continues to ring, but every time he goes out, he sees nothing. Chase Bentley no longer wants to care. He thinks to himself, if the person knocks, let them knock. He locks the door and goes to sleep first. Shortly after turning off the light, he hears the room door pushed open.
I just heard my door open. Fuck, something just opened my door. Oh, fuck, what the Oh my god.
As Chase Bentley turns the camera, it turns out the clown sneaked into his room. He stands with his head bowed in front of the mirror. But this clown's clothes are clearly different from the two seen before. They are black and white striped, while the previous two were one black and one white. Seeing this, Chase Bentley is already scared speechless. He says he will pack his things and leave the house now. He asks the clown to stop staring at him, but the clown apparently does not intend to let Chase Bentley go. It keeps giving him menacing looks. After he walks for a while with his backpack, he looks behind him and discovers the clown has also followed.
Бежать. Я пошел. Пустите. Чего? Нет!
Amidst Chase Bentley's tense voice, the camera also goes black. It jumps to the videotape Margot Bentley previously found in the antique shop. TS content shows that after Margaret Carmichael's death, Catherine Carmichael discovers Patrick Carmichael's behavior becomes increasingly strange. She often finds Patrick Carmichael filling the room with clowns. He also has eerie conversations with them, mentioning Margaret Carmichael's name, and the one just now. The striped clown who scares Chase Bentley is also present. On a nearby counter, Catherine Carmichael also discovers Margaret Carmichael's blood-stained dress from TH car accident. Facing Catherine Carmichael's questioning, Patrick Carmichael unexpectedly says, he asks what if someone could bring Margaret Carmichael back. He seems to want to resurrect the deceased Margaret Carmichael and is performing some kind of ritual. In response to this, Catherine Carmichael pulls a cross pendant from her pocket. She blesses her older brother while helping him emerge from the gloom. After Patrick Carmichael leaves the room, Catherine Carmichael opens the wooden box that Patrick Carmichael had forbidden her to open. At this moment, the camera placed opposite glitches twice. Then, the three clowns behind her also stand together, staring coldly at Catherine Carmichael in front of them. Next, she finds a card in Patrick Carmichael's wooden box. The card is from his boss, Andrew Tully, and the three clowns. The card's content appears to be a summoning spell. At this time, Patrick Carmichael is working at the Awaken Hotel in town, and his boss, Andrew Tully, seems to be a cult member. He possesses some dark magic that can resurrect the dead. Andrew Tully's motive for learning this is likely for his young daughter who died prematurely. He initially, with a friend named Society A Ball, opens a clown-hitting game stall in town. In it, they kidnap some children playing the game. Finally, to facilitate proselytizing and to cover their tracks, Andrew Tully opens the hotel named Abaddon in town. Patrick Carmichael feels guilty after Margaret Carmichael's death, so he goes to Andrew Tully's hotel and becomes his employee. Patrick Carmichael believes Andrew Tully's method can revive the dead, but he never expects to turn his Manor into a hell where evil spirits roam. The scene changes. The two search near the manor for a long time but still cannot find Chase Bentley. It is getting late. The Wi-Fi in the manor suddenly disconnects and loses signal. They decide to set off for the town first and then bring in reinforcements. But Rebecca Vickers, in the driver's seat, is bewildered. She tries to start the car a few times and discovers the engine seems broken. Chase Bentley tells her not to worry, explaining that it is still light out. She says they should quickly walk through the woods and can definitely reach town before dark. However, after walking about 4 or 5 kilometers, they discover some eerie crosses appearing around them. People are tied to them, and they do not know if they are real or fake. At this moment, a hearse appears in front of them. While the two are surprised, several black-robed figures suddenly appear not far from the hearse, blocking their way. As the black-robed monsters approach, Rebecca Vickers screams first and returns the way they came. By the time the two return to the manor, night has already fallen. They rush back to their room and freeze in place, not knowing what to do.
Do you have to film right now? Just stop!
If there was ever a time to make sure that we were filming everything, it is literally right now.
At this moment, Margot Bentley's phone finally gets a little signal. She discovers a text message sent by her younger brother, Chase Bentley. The message is absurd. It says, "Hello," and then tells Margot Bentley that his new friends want to meet them. Margot Bentley left Chase Bentley's phone in his room and did not take it. She is about to go and see what is happening. She hears a series of thumping knocks on the door. Then the door suddenly pushes open. Her phone receives another text message from Chase Bentley. The message says they have already entered their room. As Margot Bentley finishes reading these words from her younger brother, Rebecca Vickers, who is hid behind her, dashes out. As Rebecca Vickers runs, the scene once again shifts to the photography perspective of Patrick Carmichael and Catherine Carmichael from that year. After Catherine Carmichael learns that her older brother Patrick Carmichael holds black magic rituals at home and loses self-awareness, she suddenly sees Margaret Carmichael, who died in a car crash, calling her from the end of the hallway one night, covered in blood. Then, black-robed figures continuously appear inside the house. At this moment, Carmichael Manor is completely enveloped by dark entities. The timeline shifts to Rebecca Vickers and Margot Bentley in the present. After that scare, the two of them run into an adjacent room. They quickly call the police while there is a little signal. But soon, they hear Chase Bentley's shouts from outside the room. Margot Bentley ignores Rebecca Vickers' attempts to stop her and rushes into the room where the sound comes from. As she searches around, a woman springs out from the bed. She appears to be Catherine Carmichael, Patrick Carmichael's younger sister. Then, as the lights suddenly go out, she jumps behind Margot Bentley. While frantically running around, Margot Bentley finally finds him in Chase Bentley's room. However, Chase Bentley has already lost all signs of life. His eyes fatally traumatized and full of blood loss. She yells at Rebecca Vickers to go back, saying Chase Bentley is severely injured. But she immediately finds that Rebecca Vickers' room cannot be opened. She instinctively runs down the stairs. She then sees the clown blocking the way opposite her and slowly approaching. As the clown grabs the fallen Margot Bentley, the scene shifts to her detective agency colleague, Bradley Moynihan. At this point, 2 days have passed since Margot Bentley and the others died. The first person to discover their bodies is Donald from the estate management office, who initially showed them the house. He finds a camera and a videotape inside the mansion. And then, as the content Margot Bentley and the others filmed is successively discovered and watched by their colleagues, the rumors of Carmichael Manor being haunted also become undeniable proof. After watching the entire process, Bradley Moynihan deduces that Patrick Carmichael, influenced by hotel owner Andrew Tully, releases some dark entities while worshipping the two clowns. Afterward, he completely loses his mind. He then puts on the striped clown suit and kills his family. The movie ends here.